So there is always this race between the carbon dioxide and oxygen concentration. If the carbon dioxide concentration is way more than the oxygen concentration, then there is very less chance that the Rubisco will fix oxygen, right? But if the oxygen is more than CO2, then there is a problem. But in real world, we know the CO2 is more. So this plant get this natural advantage of fixing carbon from CO2, not oxygen. So as I mentioned that it fixes CO2 and O2, enzymes in Kelvin cycle, the first step we have seen, most abundant protein on earth, 20%, 25% of the total leaf protein is Rubisco. So we extract the leaf proteins, 25% of the whole protein will be Rubisco. And consider all the leaves that are available in the world. So that is Rubisco. So that is the most abundant protein on earth. And involved in the very first step, this is ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon. Okay, 1 and 5, these are the two positions where the phosphates are added. We call it bisphosphate. And remember one thing, bis and di. We use these two terms like bisphosphate, diphosphate, trisphosphate, triphosphate. The difference is the bis is used when the phosphate groups locations are different. Di when phosphates are attached with themselves, self-attachment. So if two phosphates are attached like this, this is diphosphate. But once they are present in separate location, bisphosphate. Okay, similar to triphosphate and trisphosphate. And here comes the CO2. Water obviously is needed in this case. And then splitting of this one carbon attachment there and splitting. So two molecules of glyceraldehyde, C, this is 2, this is 1. So glyceraldehyde, C-phosphate. Okay. This is the normal reaction that the Rubisco should be involved with while Rubisco fixes carbon from CO2. But now when Rubisco is doing oxygenase activity, then what will happen? See, this is where we will see carboxylase activity, this is we will see oxygenase activity separately. We know about the carboxylase activity, CO2 is fixed, water is needed, splits into C-phosphoglycerate or phosphoglyceric acid. Two such molecules will be produced, normal. This process is simple, we know that. This is desired, right? But if Rubisco oxygenase activity is triggered, oxygen will be attached and it will split again, split into, because there is no extra carbon added, 5 carbon. So we have 1, 2, 3 carbon here and 2 carbon here. Okay. This 2 carbon molecule is known as phosphoglycolate. Phosphoglycolate. This phosphoglycolate, once the phosphate is cleaved out, known as glycolate. COO group and CH2OH. That is glycolate. And 1 C-phosphoglycerate will be produced. So this 1 C-phosphoglycerate can lead to Kelvin cycle, no issue. But this 2 carbons are wasted, right? 2 carbons are wasted. These 2 carbons will produce glycolate. So after every single round Rubisco is active, fixing oxygen, 2 carbon molecules are wastage, right? And extra energy is wastage, which we will see later when. Because at this moment there is no extra energy, but to change glycolate into a metabolite which is involved in the process of photosynthesis later on requires further steps, requires energy. But there is a straight ahead loss of 2 carbon, and we know 6 carbon produces 1 sugar. So 1/3 of the carbon is lost here. So this is definitely not desired. And we call it photorespiration. When Rubisco fixes oxygen but not CO2, it is known as photorespiration. Loses half of the carbon as CO2, costs 2.5 extra ATP and takes up oxygen from the environment. All are bad for us. The plant is not being able to produce the enough amount of food because of loss of carbon and is utilizing oxygen which we supposed to utilize, not plants. They don't need it, but they're utilizing it. So photorespiration, also known as the oxidative photosynthetic carbon cycle, name of the same thing. Photorespiration is also known as the oxidative photosynthetic carbon cycle or C2 photosynthesis. Why? Because the intermediate, the stable intermediate that is produced is a glycolate, which is a 2 carbon molecule. In other case, we need C-phosphoglycerate, which is a C carbon molecule, so we call it C3 photosynthesis. And this process is a plant metabolism which attempts to reduce the consequence of wasteful oxygen or oxygenation reaction by the enzyme Rubisco, or the process that leads to only one 3-PGA being produced in the dark reaction of chloroplast. Okay, that is photorespiration. Why called respiration? Because utilization of oxygen. That's why we are naming it respiration. But actually, it's not a respiration process. Plants also involved in the process of for respiration even. That's a electron transport chain for respiration is also there because plants also utilize that. But that's a separate deal. This is a wastage of oxygen, wastage of carbon, wastage of energy. This process only occurs in the presence of light. Occurs 1 out of 4 reactions under today's atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration. And it also increases with temperature. Why? Because the more the temperature, the more the demand for water and supply to the plant cell. And also in higher temperature, this process of oxygen utilization increases. So occurs in light, occurs higher in higher temperature, and occurs 1 out of every 4 reactions that are occurring in the plant right now in this current world scenario of CO2 concentration around the globe. Now, we know it's bad. So how to fix it? It's bad for the plants, so obviously bad for us. How to fix it? How plants fix it? Now, plants fix it via separate pathway. It's a complicated steps of path. We know the process of photosynthesis takes place where in the chloroplast. Only in chloroplast. It does not involve any other place of the plant. But to fix the glycolate that it produces, glyxylate that is the glycolate involved in phosphoglycolate that they produce, they need to take that through peroxisome, take that through mitochondria to fix that error. So to fix that error, 2 more organelles need to be involved. One is peroxisome, another is mitochondria. So see what happens. Phosphoglycolate produced because of oxygen fixation by Rubisco enzyme. Now this phosphoglycolate is converted to glycolate in the very first reaction that is also done in the chloroplast stroma, and this glycolate is transferred into peroxisome. Now it comes reaction number 2 and 3 where the glycolate is converted to glyoxylate. Another molecule of oxygen is used and oxygen is reduced to hydrogen peroxide, which is toxic, and hydrogen peroxide is present in the peroxisome. That's why it's done in peroxisome. Glyoxylate converted to glycine by converting glutamate into alpha ketoglutarate. Okay, and this peroxide that is produced, catalase can break it into water and oxygen later on. That can only be done in the peroxisome. Peroxisome is equipped to handle hydrogen peroxide. No other part of the cell is equipped to handle hydrogen peroxide. It will cause damage to them. That's why they need to shift the glycolate into the hydrogen peroxisome to continue the process. And then this glycine is transferred into the mitochondria. The glycine is then oxidized to serine, reducing NAD into NADH. Okay, that is reaction number 4. And in this process of conversion of glycine to serine, CO2 is also produced. Ammonia is also produced. Okay, deamination and production of CO2. The CO2 that is produced is now released. 1 carbon is extra now released. So 2 carbon loss earlier was there, 1 carbon is released. Now this serine is transferred back to the peroxisome. Now there will be reaction number 5 and 6 where glyoxylate convert into glycine and 1 proton. Serine is converted to hydroxypyruvate. Now hydroxypyruvate is reduced to glycerate. NADH oxidize itself to NAD+. The glycerate transferred back to stroma of the chloroplast. The glycerate, once phosphate is attached to 3, then 3-phosphoglycerate is produced. So remember the single step where carbon fixation leads to the production, 2 steps, leads to the production of 3-phosphoglycerate. Single step basically. That single step requires how many steps? 6 steps, 7 steps. The 7th step was the conversion of glycerate into the 3-phosphoglycerate. one-step process were there if CO2 is fixed by Rubisco, but 7-step process are involved, involving peroxisome, involving mitochondria to produce the same 3-phosphoglycerate. And you see in this process, there are involvement of ATP, involvement of NADH, right? Oxygen involvement. So there is a lot of energy involvement in this whole process. That's a bad thing, but still, plants fix it like this.